So we've heard now about what needs to happen at the federal level, getting our folks to make sure that they've got a backbone, that they are resisting with everything they've got. We've heard about all the incredible work that's happening at the local level, at the community level with our organizations that are fighting. I want to give a little bit of context for what we might want to be thinking about moving forward at the state level. So over the last 8 years, we've seen across the country Republican-led state legislatures and governors resisting and blocking and fighting every good thing that has been attempted to happen at the national level, right? And they've been incredibly successful at doing that. They haven't been able to stop everything, but they've stopped a whole lot. It's impacted a whole lot of citizens in a whole lot of states with that resistance and blocking. I would argue that now it is on us here in Rhode Island to do everything that we possibly can to resist and block any potential attacks and assaults that are coming from Washington, D.C. and a Trump administration. So, obviously it's November. We don't know exactly what we're going to be facing come January and beyond. But we have some sense from this campaign, right? Some things that we can be thinking about. And so we should be getting prepared, for example, if labor protections are gutted by a Trump-led Department of Labor, we should be pushing and fighting to make sure that at the state level, our legislature is supporting working families in Rhode Island in every way we can. If a Trump-led EPA and Department of Energy starts rolling back climate action, we need to be prepared to fight and push at the state level to make sure that our governor and our state legislature is going all in on renewable energy and not more fossil fuel infrastructure. Obviously those fights are happening, like all these fights, we've got to increase them. If they start going after our immigrant brothers and sisters even more than they are now, as they have promised to do, we need to be ready to do everything we can to block ICE, both with our bodies, but also with state policy. For example, there's legislation to make it to have a state-level sanctuary state. As Sophia said, we need to fight for that, right? If Obamacare is repealed or something like that, we need to make sure the state steps up to provide universal health care at the state level. Massachusetts did that, right? We know that's possible. Obamacare preceded the ACA. If they do that, then we need to fight at the state level. Let's do it right here in Rhode Island. We can do it. They did it in Massachusetts. We can do it here. If they start going after reproductive rights, then we need to swamp the statehouse and make sure that our leaders are fighting to protect reproductive rights here in Rhode Island. And if they start cutting taxes on the wealthy at the federal level and then using that to cut our funding that comes to the state level for programs that help our vulnerable communities, then we need to be prepared to push our state leaders to raise taxes on the wealthy at the state level and replace that funding with revenue from right here in the state. We've been cutting taxes on the wealthy for a while at the state level. We know there's a margin there that we can replace. And at the same time as we are engaged in all those defensive fronts, I think it's really important that we are also going on the offense. We need to be fighting in aspirational economic issues. $15 minimum wage, paid sick days, tuition-free public college, issues that engage and appeal working-class Rhode Islanders of all races, including white working-class Rhode Islanders who are suffering, who are feeling anxiety, and we need to provide them with the actual solutions to their problems, not the made-up solutions that Donald Trump has offered. Now, on the one hand, on paper, Rhode Island should be a great place to be leading that fight, right? We've got a Democratic-dominated state legislature, we've got a Democratic governor, and indeed, like, as a state legislator, I would rather be having this fight in Rhode Island than in Mississippi, for example. Like, we've got some space here that we need to take advantage of. On the other hand, anyone who knows the first thing about Rhode Island politics knows that the word Democrat in Rhode Island doesn't necessarily mean anything at all. And so that list of issues that I listed, That list of issues, we're going to have a whole lot of trouble making those happen. In fact, we're not going to be able to pass any of those unless we're able to build a stronger, more powerful, popular movement to put the pressure from the outside. The inside game alone is not going to cut it. We need that outside pressure, and that's why it's so inspiring to look around this room. We need everyone here to make a commitment right now that come January, when the state legislative session starts, you will be ready and willing to go up to the State House, to swamp state legislative committee hearings, to swamp floor votes, to swamp the governor's office, to swamp the voicemails and inboxes of your particular state legislators, to go to rallies, to go to actions, because, and most of all, to pay attention to these state fights, because that is where we were going to have the power to actually make these changes. So get ready. Again, we've been stressing this all over the place, but sign up. We need you to sign up so that we can keep you in the loop on those actions, on those fights, on those campaigns. Make sure that you're signed up. So thank you so much. That's the state context. We're going to open it up.